Hello, Internet. This is the first 5 seconds of the podcast, which will be on YouTube, but not on Podbean, so you get some exclusive content. Hello, Internet again. Now it's on both.
Well, that's good.
The people on Podbean have no idea what I'm talking about because I did that introduction on the YouTube part, so now they're going to be like, what?
You think
the people on YouTube are going to see me picking my ear with my pinky finger because it is itchy and there is a big ball of wax in there. How about you?
Do you have a theme song?
Oh yeah, I was gonna do a theme song. Colors weave into a spire of flame, distant sparks call to a past still unnamed. Bear this torch against the cold of the night. Search your soul and reawaken the undying beer of the week. I forgot my bottle.
It's probably better than light, since you're fighting Galeem.
Yeah.
Like, the Undying Light, he's the bad guy in this one.
This is the key to my heart. The people on Podbean cannot see, but I have a key-shaped bottle opener. Key to my heart. It's a joke. Anyways, today's beer of the week is strong, so we're gonna share it like friends.
Okay.
Also, I have these ridiculous-looking glasses here.
That's probably for the best, and I can describe the second beer if I have to, because
right. Because beer is good. Anyways, today's beer of the week is Founders the American Cosmickies. Is that what that says? American Cosmickies?
The American.
No, that doesn't say American, does it? It says Amazing Cosmickies. Anyways,
that font is fucked up.
Yeah, a little bit. Anyways, it's KBS flavored stout. I don't know what that means, but it's tasty. Want to have some? Too bad, you're gonna. Because it's a drink to the past. We drink on this podcast.
Plus, I could go for a stout.
Yeah, and I got the world's weirdest beer glasses. There's also a story to go with these beer glasses. Every year in Estes Park, Colorado, they get a lot of weird head here. When you get up to the bottom of the neck, you can see that on camera there. Suddenly, once you get up past this little bulb thing in these glasses, suddenly all you get is head. Which I'm not totally sure how that works out, but
There's probably a physics question.
Probably. Know any physicists?
I know a geologist.
That's the same. If you ask a geologist. And if you ask a physicist if that's the same, then he'll probably beat you to death.
With a rock?
Just to be ironic? Probably. Well, no. Iron is a metal, not a rock. Ironic. Iron. You get it?
Iron?
Yeah. So anyways, these, every year in Estes Park, Colorado, there is a Scottish festival. And some years they actually hire bands out from around the nations. And one year they hired a Scottish pipe band to come down and play. And some of the Scottish guys went to a pub in Estes Park, which is no longer existent, called P.D. Flowers. And they thought that these glasses were so neat that they stole them. And then somehow they ended up at my aunt and uncle's house.
And then you stole them from your aunt and uncle.
Well, then they put them into a gift exchange at Christmas time, and I opened the box, and they told me the story of these wacky glasses, and I said, well, who can resist stolen Scottish glasses from a pub that doesn't exist anymore? Clink. That's pretty good. Some sort of barrel-aged stout.
I was about to ask.
Brewed with chocolate and coffee aged in oak bourbon barrels. So, yeah, that's good stuff. You like that?
Yeah, it's less intense than probably, say, a dragon's milk.
Right.
But that means that I can probably drink it easier, so.
Right. But that can be dangerous, because I think this is like 14%, 12%, something like that. So, it seems like it's easy drinking for a minute, but, yeah.
Alright, well,
I don't think it says on here. On the
don't
bottle.
Be too mad if
It
I
says
pass out on your couch.
Okay, that's okay. That's why I have a couch, I think. On this podcast, that's probably the most likely reason. Yeah, the coffee is very forward on that. The one problem with these glasses is that you have to put them back in the stand because it has a bulb on the bottom rather than any kind of thing that you should actually put it down on.
They don't really sit neatly. Although, probably nobody's gonna steal just one glass. They have to steal the whole thing.
That's true. Yeah, because, I mean, without stealing the stand, it's kind of pointless. And without the stand, I mean, if you stole, like, the stand and one glass, that would be, like, weird. And everybody'd ask, like, hey.
Where's the other glass?
Yeah. This is suspicious. Did you steal this glass and stand? Anyways, if you like the podcast, then be sure to share and subscribe. I'm going to put that at the start of the video instead of the end, just in case you click off this to, listen to a more famous podcast or watch porn.
Nobody listens to those.
Nobody listens to porn?
Don't you always have it on mute?
Depends on the porno, I suppose. Anyways, the next thing in my notes is beer of the week, so we already did that. So I guess we're going slightly out of order. So brief news stuff. The only thing you think of that is news this week is that Super Smash Bros. Version 3.0 is out in the wild. Whoa, mine explodes.
Oh shit! I need to download that.
You need to download Mind Explodes?
I need to download 3.0.
All right. Yeah, so it comes with a bevy of new features, by which I mean Stage Builder.
So we can build Dino Festination again and get mad?
Probably. Want to explain to our
So Dino
viewers?
Festination, it's exactly like Final Destination, except for the platform drops away whenever you stand on it. And there's no platform that isn't a drop-away platform. All of the platforms are drop away.
Yeah, they were all, like, it was just like a whole buttload of drop blocks, so you had to keep jumping, which, as an Ike main, was really infuriating, because Ike doesn't jump.
You better hope you have good air mobility.
Yeah. I played Kirby on that stage sometimes, and that worked out okay.
Yeah, Kirby's better on that.
Yes. Most people are better than Ike.
Or
Yeah, so anyways, I played with the Stage Builder, like, a little bit, and it's different because you don't have like specific things. You actually like just draw stuff and put it in, and then you can make it rotate or make it like move on a set track or stuff. So you can do all these kinds of things, I think. But I haven't played with it a whole lot. It seems like it's a little kind of complex on the outside. It's not quite as dumbed down as I feel like it was in Brawl. I don't really know how it was in Smash for Wii U. I
didn't get Smash for Wii U.
I didn't get Smash for Wii U.
I didn't have a Wii U.
I had a Wii U, and I had, like, no friends that came over, and, like, most of the times when I was with the people that I would play Smash with, we were at Peyton's house at the time.
He already had one of those.
And he had one of those. So we played it at his place. Anyways, I've seen a whole bunch of really cool looking stuff coming out of the fan community of, like, custom stages. So you can do a whole lot with it, but I feel like the learning curve is, like, way up higher, or you have to be good at actually visualizing and drawing things onto the pad and, like, have a good spatial awareness so that, like, because part of my problem was when I tried to move stuff and have stuff, like, rotate or stuff, then I'd have, like, 3 objects that would, like, smash into each other, and then they would just get stuck. And that would be a much less interesting stage than if they actually all rotated nicely around each other to screw with, the people standing on them like I was imagining.
So it's much more full-featured, and naturally we're going to both suck at it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically the gist of that. So, drink time! Yay! That's my favorite part of the podcast. Okay, was there any other news stuff? I don't think so. Joker's in the game now. I didn't get the DLC yet. I'm gonna get it, but not now. Joker looks fun from his trailer. Did you see the trailer?
I saw the trailer when it was announced. I did not see the trailer for when they added him.
Right. Because they got, like, they actually did, like, the kind of presentation that they would have done in a direct, where they're like, here are his basic moves. This is kind of what you do. You put on a persona when he gets powered up. So that looks kind of cool. I didn't actually play Persona.
So kind of like Shulk.
Kind of. But he gets, I think he gets the persona, like, as he gets hit and as he deals damage or something. So he doesn't just, like, switch into, and he's only got the one persona. Is his main, Arsene, which I guess is one of his main personas in the game.
So
I think. I don't know. I
he's
didn't
like
play it.
the thief persona or something.
Something.
Or Sen Lupin or.
Something.
Did we just tie this to Lupin the Third?
Maybe. That would be cool. Is he going to be the new DLC character?
He should be.
Yeah, he should. Alright, so we're going to move on to our video game topic for the week. So, I guess partially tying into another news topic, officially this week, the Bethesda announced officially, like, we knew this already because of, like, the listings on retailers' sites and stuff, but Wolfenstein Youngblood is going to come out in July, I believe, for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. But the Switch version, when you get the case, it will not have a game card in it. It just has a download code. And naturally, the internet is blowing up about this because the internet likes to blow up about stuff.
It's not worth blowing up about, but I don't understand why you'd have the case then.
Right. So that's kind of what we're getting at, is specifically in this kind of case, and in the case of, like, Doom, where you have, like, more than half of the game is not on the cartridge and you have to download it to play it. Where do you stand on physical versus digital games?
I'm kind of two minds about it, because pretty much all of the games I have anymore, I download on Steam, or I get them off of Good Old Games.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just more convenient. I don't have to flip through a book of CDs. I don't have to or for the Switch, I don't have to get out, switch the cards out.
Mm-hmm.
I just can play with them. But I kind of feel like with the physical copies, we've been losing more and more just over the years. It's like back in the 90s, if you bought a game, you'd also get like a thick fucking tome manual and like
right.
a paper, like a cloth map.
Yeah. Cool stuff like that.
Cool feelies. And then companies got more profit focused.
Mm-hmm.
And slowly that stuff started to pare away.
Yeah, because now you don't even actually get a manual with most games.
Yeah, it's just kind of
like
disappointing.
They'll have a digital manual if you want it somehow, and some of them are like on the console, and some of them you just actually have to look up the instruction manual online, and it's like...
Yeah, they save 50 cents by not printing a manual, and then I go and look it up on...
Mm-hmm.
I kind of miss being able to read through the instruction manual.
Yeah, which is kind of funny, because I never actually felt, like, obligated to do so, because I was having trouble with figuring out how something worked, but I always liked looking through them anyways, you know, for, like, maybe a little insight into the game world or something that's not necessarily spoken in the game, you know, a little introduction to each character, and then sometimes, like, they'd have, like, a little excerpt about each character, so you'd learn a little bit more about their backstory, or see some of these new characters that you're going to get later in the game, or stuff like that. And I kind of like that too. So I didn't even really think about manuals when I picked this topic, but yeah, bring back manuals. And that was also, like, the first thing I used to do when I opened a game, still the first thing I do is I smell it. Because brand new physical games smell good. And the best part of that was the instructions. Was like this is maybe just a weird ritual that I do that a handful of people do it. I know I'm not the only person.
You are not the only person.
Yeah. So I am not the only person who misses sniffing the instruction manual. But Yeah, I don't get that anymore. Like I opened up something the other day. It was I got my physical copy of West of Loathing from Limited Run, and it came with like a little art book and stuff, and that stuff had that smell, and I was like, oh my god, I actually haven't had this in years. This is great.
And yeah, that's. It's always nice to just have those little extras.
Mm-hmm.
They end up kind of meaning a lot.
Right. So generally, you're more of a digital guy.
I feel like we gained more than we lost in terms of digital.
Mm-hmm.
It's if I'm able to download some indie game in 5 minutes that I paid $10 for, that's about as good as a what would have been a $50 game 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy, but
Right.
it always helps to look back and be like, hey, we missed these manuals where some character in the video game tells you about the world,
Mm-hmm.
or someone where there's like a paper map that you have to set in water, like Star Tropics.
Yeah.
I still have some of those old manuals up on my shelf, like the
Mhm.
old Mech Warrior 4 manuals, where
Cool.
they described all of the mechs.
Yeah. And with stuff like that was sometimes really cool too, because in like Mech Warrior and that kind of game, you don't get descriptions of your mech. You see what it is, and you probably have a good idea based on the size and shape of the mech. Oh, the Atlas is the one that makes big explosions.
Yeah.
But that little bit of extra detail in there is always kind of cool, I think. So I'm also more of a physical guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general, like I buy everything that I can physically. If it doesn't have a physical copy, I'm just less interested because I want a case to put on my shelf. You can see my giant red line on the top of my bookshelf over there.
All the YouTube viewers can. This is for my eyes only.
Yeah.
And Sean's.
Yeah, mostly because I don't feel like moving the camera right now. Anyways, I've got all those Switch games, and the black lines next to it are my PS4 games right now. I like having physical stuff that I can put on display like that. I've got like 50 amiibos. Not 50, but there's a lot of them. I just got the Young Link one. We just went over that last week, and it was cool. Check it out if that part got into the podcast on YouTube.
I don't remember how far that was in.
Right, yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I like this kind of physical collecting stuff. And I don't know, because like when they announced that they're doing Wolfenstein Youngblood, they're doing a physical release that's just a game case with a download code in it, I'm like, okay, I'm one of the few people I feel like who is on board with this, because most people are like either, okay, well, I was just going to get it digital anyway, I don't care, or, no, I'm a physical person, I wanted a physical cartridge, I'm not getting my full deal. And what I kind of feel like is that this is better than nothing, and based on how expensive it is to produce Switch cartridges as opposed to Blu-ray discs, which they use for PS4, obviously, and some similar kind of disc for Xbox. CDs are a lot cheaper. So I think probably the decision was made because Wolfenstein Youngblood is coming out for $30 instead of 60, and I think if they printed the cartridge, they probably would have been losing money on sales. So I'm like, I get this as a business thing. It's not as cool. I don't like it as much, but it's better than nothing because I have that case that I can put up there.
What I will say about download codes like that is that you probably, like if something goes wrong with your Switch, you probably will not be able to reuse them. Which is my problem with digital downloads on consoles specifically, is that when my Wii went bad, I lost all of the virtual console games I had on it.
Okay, that's a little better now because it's tied to your Nintendo account.
Okay.
So if you buy a game on your Nintendo account and your Switch dies, that's saved to your account. You log in your account on a new Switch, you can download any game that you previously purchased.
Okay.
So that's
So,
not as much of an issue.
Long as
anymore.
Nintendo is in business, and let's hope they stay in business for at least the rest of our lives. They've been around long enough.
Right, yeah. I'm sure they will stay in business.
But
know.
that's something that's worth thinking about when you're considering digital versus physical. Is if the company goes out of business, am I going to be able to get this thing again?
Yeah.
I think I think I like the convenience of digital, and I'm not too worried about it now. But it's always a little niggling thing in the back of my mind.
I do like that permanency of physical games, though. That's another attraction to me, because, like, theoretically, you know, in 20 years, when they've discontinued the Nintendo eShop for Nintendo Switch, because they're on, like, the Switch 3 or whatever console they're on at the time, or, you know, hypothetically, they could even move out of that space and be, like, all streaming or something. Who knows? But, like, at that point, I will be able to play Breath of the Wild because I have a cartridge. And the people who bought it digitally, if it's still downloaded, yeah. But if they deleted it to make space for Wolfenstein, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the attraction to me. So that's basically the only thing that I'm like kind of upset about the Wolfenstein thing, and it upset me a little bit the same way, but not quite as bad when they announced that Doom was like you get part of it on the cartridge and then you have to have like a 10 gig download to like the 10 gigs is mostly just the multiplayer mode. You can play technically without the download, but you get like all the update patches in this 10 gig download so that it actually runs like a lot better, and like they removed a bunch of glitches that were there right when they released it and stuff like that you know in 20 years I won't be able to do anymore, you know, if I delete Doom or
if
just
Bethesda
that.
forgets, if Bethesda's like, we're not going to maintain these servers anymore, we're not going to maintain this download,
Mm-hmm.
then
Well,
you
at
won't
that
be able
point,
to
that
do
would
it.
even just be on the Nintendo side, anyways.
They'll let, yeah.
Because it would be you
I'm-
get the patch from Nintendo.
I don't like that games can be aged out like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a fan of it, and I've been less of a fan of it the more game companies try to say, all right, you have to stay updated to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
There is one more thing where we live in an area with fairly good internet, right?
Yeah.
Where a 10 gig download's like, oh, it's not that big a deal.
Right.
If you're living in a place with bad internet, with getting a download copy means you might not be able to play it that day. You might not be able to play it for a few days.
Yeah.
Even with the physical copy.
Right.
So I think that's kind of shitty, but I'm not sure how you avoid it if you want to keep the price of the game down and still
Yeah, because
sell it.
costs to make games in general are going up anyway, and particularly the problem with Switch is that the cartridges are way expensive to produce. So, like, I almost see, you know, the next Switch console just being a download-only machine. I wouldn't be surprised. The new Xbox is. They just announced they're going to have a new version of the Xbox One S that's got no disk drive. And I feel like that's going to be a fairly normal thing. I wouldn't be surprised to see the same thing, especially on Xbox and PS4. It's almost superfluous to have the disc because literally the disc is an install disc. And then you have to put in the disc to make sure you own the physical game. But, like, still...
so it's just DRM at that point.
Yeah, it seems weird to me when I've installed the whole game on my PS4, but I still have to put in the disc. I'm like, at this point, this seems tedious. More so than
we need
it
to make
should.
sure you aren't stealing it.
Oh, yeah. Which, I mean, I don't mind anyways, because I've been switching out discs and cartridges literally my whole life. But it seems like kind of pointless to install it if I'm not able to just play it, like on a PC install. You install it off the install disk, and then you can throw the disk away for all they care. Or, put it in a closet in case you uninstall later. Whatever. So that's just kind of a weird thing, I think. So at this point, I could very well see the next, like, PS5 being just download only,
Probably that's what would happen with all the future consoles.
Right. And I mean,
me being the PC gaming person I am.
Yeah, because it's like, that's a large... I feel like that's a greater percentage of PC gamers than it is anybody. Because I feel like most PC gamers are strictly download. And console gamers, I feel like a lot of them are shifting that way. And now Xbox getting rid of the disk drive. Wouldn't be surprised if Switch and PS4 did it as well in the next coming months. And it's not like this is very new, because there's another very popular gaming device, which is download only. Smartphones. Smartphones are a legitimate competitor in the gaming market, and they are download only. And nobody says anything about that, because they just have been their whole life.
It's because smartphones have always been seen as the casual gaming market, when realistically they could do as much or more than a console could. They do different things. They do some things better than others, but
yeah, that's kind of the funny thing, because like when I was looking for my phone a couple of years ago, I ended up getting the Galaxy S8 Plus, basically because it was the beefiest thing on the market. It has, at the time 2 years ago, the S8 Plus had straight up better hardware than every single other device. The only thing that was comparable was the original Google Pixel at the time, and at that point it was like, okay, they're pretty close. Technically, this is a little beefier, and I demoed both of them, and I like the Galaxy better. Is basically how I made my decision. And I like it as a phone, and I like it as a, it's a really powerful computing device. But now I have nothing to do with that, because nobody will make a giant game for it. Because, like, my hope going forward was basically, I want somebody to, like, literally just make big games that are worth paying $60 for, straight up, on phones. I want the next big Zelda experience, the next big Doom, whatever, on my phone or on some sort of mobile thing. And then shortly after that, Nintendo announced that Nintendo Switch was a thing, and I was like, oh, you know what, that'll work. But my phone is technically in several ways more powerful than a Nintendo Switch. It's actually more powerful in most respects than my PC, because my PC is outdated. But that's not the point. Phones are powerful now, and that's wasted on nothing but Instagram and Snapchat and, like, emoji blitz.
And it has...
Not that there's anything wrong with people that want to do that kind of game, but, like, compared to the potential that these devices have, it's nothing. Do you have any final thoughts on the matter there, Chris?
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Okay.
We miss a lot of the physicality of what games used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But digital downloads are gonna happen, and unlike them getting rid of the headphone jack,
that was
a lot of fuck that. It's fucking stupid. Digital downloads are probably the way to go for the future.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Despite the growing pains.
And if I can get a little physical case to hold my download code in, then that'll be good enough for me. Because going forward, I feel like that's probably what I'm gonna get. So that's that. And if you like this discussion, then be sure to check out part 2 on YouTube. because of video size problems, we're going to cut it up. So this will be the end of this video. Catch you in part 2. But for the Podbean listeners, this is going to be the secret part that the guys don't get who are watching the YouTube version.